Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It Dawn. Let's buff up before we enter the Echo of Deskari's lair.
I am never wrong.
So I know earlier in this series I'd mentioned buffing off camera, but I changed my mind because I think that buffing is such an integral part of this game. It's best to showcase it, that way if someone has a question about what buffs I'm using, they can either see it here, or put like a timestamp in the comments, like hey, what buff is this and why are you using it, and then I can go to that, reference it, and explain. So, it is a weighted decision to do this on camera. And personally, I don't mind all the buffing. I mentioned it before, I find it therapeutic. It's also a good gauge of how far your characters have come power-wise. Oh, didn't mean to do that. The arch of the portal looks as though a giant has taken a forge hammer and smashed it to pieces. However, the portal itself is clearly open and active. You're here. I saw meticulous servants visit the portal. They destroyed almost everything. I expected them to launch an assault, but they simply opened the gate and disappeared. I did not reveal myself to them. Not yet. We're still buffing up.
Magritium Turinos. Amranda Gratior. Inimosi Travisi. Inimosi Travisi. Inimosi Travisi.
Don't mind me.
The world has suffered enough.
I also don't remember if I explained why I keep so many castings of Bless, even though I only cast it one time for buffing. And that's because it counteracts the spore effect that Vrox apply to a new party. So sometimes you'll notice after we fight Vrox, we'll take this constant ticking damage. Bless counteracts that. Which at this point of the game, that's a non-issue. But I have nothing else to put in those slots besides maybe Cure Light Wounds, but... I'm never going to cast that in combat either, because it's going to heal for like 7 health. We're taking 150 damage per hit. So... probably not worth it.
Doubt is the
world's greatest gem.
Alright, already read that. You're here. Can we go in now? Enter the portal. Good. Want the Echo to know we're here. Hope he's trembling in his lair. I don't think he is. If he was, that would ruin another plot point in the game a little later on. So I doubt we'll fight him here. If we do, he'll run away, or it'll be a clone, or some other nonsense.
I'm always ready.
Oh, buddy, you're standing in a bad spot.
This spell works.
Or not.
Rely on me.
I mean, somebody can charge him, right? There we go.
Ask nicely.
I'll take
You can
care
probably
of it.
charge.
This
Nope,
spell
still can't
works
charge.
The
differently.
goddess protects us.
Well, by
Always be ready
golly.
for the worst.
Well, fine. I didn't want to charge anybody anyway.
We are the light. They are the darkness.
Don't hold back.
Hey, speaking of rocks. Have you seen your guts, you Galarian beast? I'll show them to you. I appreciate the offer.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Cover me, all right?
Did you
Die
see
already.
that?
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
Don't get cocky, slave. As he takes a hammer to the face. Hey, keep talking smack, Brock. I think you have a chance. So, be surprised if we didn't have to fight swarms in here. The avatar of the Demon Lord stands motionless in the center of this horrific parody of a temple. At first glance, it looks as though the Echo of Deskari is praying. However, upon closer inspection, you realize that he is watching a swarm of insects consume the body of one of his victims. Kater looks more like a corpse than a living creature, but his eyes are alert and watchful. The guard of Pelurus Fall is silent as he meets your gaze, but a small smile plays around the corner of his parched, blood-crusted lips. The hand of the Inheritor's voice trembles with righteous fury. I have witnessed many abominations here in the Abyss, but I have never seen anything more revolting than this abode of filth. My enemy. You may be called the Echo of Deskari, but it is time for the Echo to fall silent. I thought you'd like my home, Hand of the Inheritor. After all, I've created it in the image and likeness of your goddess's temples. Many angels and mortals have lost their lives within these walls. They called out to Abode, but she never answered, no matter how many torments they endured. Their pleas were music to my ears. Don't you think that a temple is the best place to commit such bloody sacrilege? For a moment, Sela looks around in shock, but then her dark eyes flash with anger. Someone will answer for this evil, and for torturing our friend. Did you really think you could surprise me? Did you think you could catch me off guard after you alerted all Evolution Ira and Articula herself to your presence? The noise you made breaking down the portal was enough to wake the dead demon lords of the Rift to repose. But fine, I'll play your little game. I'll be an accommodating host, and listen to you brag about how clever you've been. It won't take long for you to realize that you've walked straight into my trap. Hold on, Kater. We're coming to help you. Kill that monster. The guard of Pelurus Fall whispers hoarsely. Don't let him get away. Not this time. I've prepared something very amusing for you. Now you will burn. Coward. A terrible rumble shakes the Echo's lair, and then... We fought one of these before. Targona's face is pale with rage and grief. It's the Devastator, a demonic mechanism. It is incredibly, immeasurably dangerous, and its fuel. I can feel the fire, the pain. This mechanism burns angels alive. and uses their power as fuel. Close ranks. This won't be an easy fight.
They will break against our resolve.
Distract them for me.
We've already fought one of these in the Midnight Isles DLC, so... Alright, let's get some summons out then.
Guide my blade.
Wait, was that it? Wait, did we... I didn't even see us attack the Devastator. I saw Bismuth attacking it, but I turned to fight the Elder of Rock, and it was over. An angel falls out of the destroyed demonic mechanism. Argona shrieks like a wounded bird and dashes toward him. The angel's body is covered in burns. He is alive, but unconscious. My brother, Argona whispers. How could this be? We thought you were dead. Is that Lariel? It's him, Targona cries out joyfully. Land whistles. And all of us in Neathholm thought this angel was buried in our Hall of Glory. Turns out our legends were lying to us. In more way than one, Lan. An accursed Echo has been keeping Lariel prisoner this whole time. He was holding him in secret, saving him for a special occasion. And then he decided to throw him into the furnace of the Devastator. Now I understand the invisible burns that you and Targona suffered in the Nexus. Both of you are connected to Lariel. She is his sister, and you inherited the light of his sword. When he was thrown into demonic fire, you felt his pain. The two of you shared in his suffering and anguish. Can we help him? Will he survive? Yes, Targona's voice is filled with joy. He's wounded and weak, but I'll take him to the Nexus and heal his wounds. Everything will be alright. It's kind of dark. If you're not on the Angel Mythic path, you don't rescue Lariel, and knowing that he's actually here this whole time. No one else knows he's here, so when we kill the Echo of Deskari toward the end of the game, he's just left here to rot. I mean, maybe he can make his own way out eventually. Yeah, that's kind of dark. The fight is over. I'll go help Kater. I'll come with you, champion. The Echo has escaped, and it grieves me that we cannot give him the punishment he deserves. But at least we can save our comrade. Segments of dismembered bodies have been put together in the shape of a sword, the symbol of Abode. From a distance, the beautiful angel appears to be unscathed. As you move closer, however, you can see that he is covered in a seething swarm of insects. They're crawling out of numerous wounds and lacerations on his body. The corpse's worn and battered armor bears a symbol of Abode. So it seems like the Echo of Deskari and Deskari himself have obsessions with Abode.
I'm gone.
Sacred Commandment. This corpse is bound hand and foot. Its lips are frozen in a final death cry, and larvae spill out of its open mouth. Yes, I don't have another key to open that side. That sucks. I explored everything in Elutionira, I thought. Maybe we get it from Kater? If the wearer of this ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously, it grants them the ability to cast the following spells: Heroism, Angelic Aspect, Chains of Light, Banishment, Angelic Aspect Greater, and Heroic Invocation. To cast a spell, the wearer still needs to have a spell slot of the required level. Okay, so that's like the Red Salamander ring. But for holy spells, the Echo of Deskari's empty lair stretches out before you, like a sinister parody of a holy temple. I'd love to burn this place to the ground, but there isn't time. We need to get out of here. And I think I have a solution. There's a service exit nearby. It's used to receive and deliver goods from Illusionaira. It is protected by dark magic, but I think we can make it through. The magic may harm us, but I don't believe it's strong enough to kill us. We're about to leave this place as soon as possible. We're no longer in the Midnight Isles. We're in another abyssal realm that is 1,000 times more dangerous. We do not have long before the residents of this realm discover our intrusion. The portal closed behind us. How are we going to get out? Yes. The Echo only provided his minions with single-use keys. You probably had one of those. But as I said before, yeah, he just told us, I don't know why this is even a question. There is another way out. It is protected by dark magic, but the magic is only strong enough to deter petty thieves. I think we can get through. The magic may hurt us, of course, but it won't kill us. Awfully sure of himself. Veer the light of heaven in all its raging glory. We'll not leave until we commit everything to holy fire. Yes, let everything burn. May every demonic abode meet a similar fate. Abode of grief and filth, fire will be your fate. You will burn, and we will leave victorious. The light of heaven, bright as ever, flows from you and kindles a holy fire, the wrathful flame of the righteous.
We do it my way.
There has to be a way to get another key. I'm just not sure how you would go about getting that. I talked to everybody. Did all the quests. We haven't gone to Calafir yet. But after that, you go to Act 5. Hope your body and mind are in good health, champion. What is our next step? We know where Baphomet's daughter Hepzibah is hiding. Onward. It's a pleasure to fight in such good company, and even death isn't so bad when you're surrounded by friends. So I mentioned this before, Baragar, that we met out in the World Wound, I think I missed a conversation with him. I don't remember if I passed the diplomacy check to convince him to join the Crusade, but if I did, I believe he's in the temple in Dresden. Normally there's no NPCs in the temple to talk to, so I didn't think to go in there and look for him. So we should have another companion here on our little, Special Forces Angel Squad. Despite his pale, tired face, the Angel's eyes are surprisingly clear and alert. Most of his burns have been healed by magic, but his body is covered in scars. He looks exhausted. Katera is sitting next to Lariel. The guard of Pelura's Fall seems to have aged a decade during the time he spent in captivity. The Echo of Deskari must have subjected him to unspeakable torture. However, his eyes are still keen and full of life. I did not truly feel the weight of my years until I saw you, Lariel. It has been a century since the wound was opened. A century since I saw you and your sister lead the refugees from Sarkoris. It's hard to believe all of that happened during my lifetime. Excuse me. I find it even harder to believe, my mortal brother. You spent these decades fighting, but I've been living a nightmare in captivity. However, both of us are now free, and ready to keep on fighting. But look who is here. Donald, the one who brought us hope. You're the reason I'm here, Lariel. I owe everything to you. You're too kind. However, I am grateful for your words. During every hour of every day, of every year of my captivity, I prayed that the power of my sword would end up in worthy hands, and now I know that my prayers were answered. My hope was not in vain. My strength is not what it once was. I've been greatly weakened by my years of captivity and torture, and any power that I had left was consumed by the Devastator. But I am ready to follow you to the end, no matter where our path may take us. Why did you go into the caves beneath Canabras? It was so long ago, and the memories are so bitter. Do you know about the angels who voluntarily locked themselves inside the wardstones? My sister and I were supposed to be among them, but my heart wasn't at peace. There's one thing I wish to do before I committed myself to the stone. I wanted to find the children of the first Crusaders, those who bore the curse of the World Wound. We devoted ourselves to the war effort, but were blind to the injustices that took place right under our nose. Those who deserved our help were ostracized and sent away from the cities. Poor children were forced to grow up in the darkness of underground caves. I believed that these exiles were still alive, and I wanted to help them. But in the end, I only succeeded in bringing death to my comrades, and captivity to myself. The things I had planned to do fell on your shoulders instead. Have you been a prisoner this whole time? Yes, I was the Echo's favorite plaything. But I'd rather not speak about such things. Such stories only breed fear, and I will not reward my tormentors by remembering their deeds. Why didn't the Echo just kill you? Because he had other plans. The Angel's voice is bitter. He does not like to kill his enemies quickly. It is not in his nature. He prefers to prolong their suffering. Trust me, I am well acquainted with his methods. He likes sophisticated schemes and sinister plots that will drive his targets insane. That is what makes the Echo such a frightening opponent. He does not simply want to win. He is not content to kill his victims. He wants to take everything from them, to make them suffer. He wants to destroy them. I have to go. Thank you for the conversation. On that bright note, Targona's eyes are bright with unshed tears. It brings me so much joy to see you, both of you. My dear ones are finally with me. Yes, sister, but our journey is not yet over. We're the warriors of light. Though we may fall, we will not lose. And though we may retreat, we will not surrender. We will stand alongside our friends and raise our blade and banner against the darkness. I cannot wait to leave the abyss. Even the air here is foul. I can barely breathe. But I will not depart until our enemies have been defeated. I do not fear the poison of the abyss. It cannot touch me. I mean, your wing says otherwise, but yeah. Let's talk to Lan, now that Lariel's here. I can't talk to Lariel about Lariel to Lan. Oh, what did that say? Lariel greets you with a gracious nod. He looks far less emaciated than the last time you saw him.
Follow if you dare.
Oh, we made the wrong key. Alright, let's rest up. Then we'll go to the Bad Luck Tavern and we'll look for a captain.
I don't know how I lived without beer up till now. Beer alone was worth coming up to the surface for.
And you still haven't tried good wine.
I'm off.
I'm trying to think where I would have missed that other key at. Unless there's only a way to get one of those keys. Maybe you could buy it somewhere. I didn't check the like generic inventory for all the merchants. Because sometimes you go through all the individual tabs. So if well, we're about to see a merchant, so I'll show it then. I want to sell the stuff that we've picked up. But like the bags of holding, I think you can only find in the main tab. The wrong thing. There we go. It's like up here. Sometimes I think you can only find the bags of holding in this tab here. see all items, but once you go to the individual tabs like this, you won't be able to see them. Oh, we do need some of that. Well, let's go ahead and take all this. It's not very expensive. And we've got money to spare. Those are +5. I need to give... I think Bismuth his equipment back. Yeah, because that's his. We'll give him that. I won't need that. Beta Spirit's pretty good. Don't want to get rid of it. Don't need this. Or really that. We'll give this to someone that doesn't have boots. Because boots are fairly rare equipment. I guess that'll do. We can sell... those. We have a better version of this already, so we don't need that either. We really don't need this either. So, that'll do for now. Also, I thought I had saved all the people from this little group. The familiar face here.
I do what I must.
I thought you met him here. Maybe you meet him later in the game. But I spared the Vrock, I thought. Maybe I did the wrong thing with the elf. They ate the paper and choked on it. So, those 3 characters. You have the halfling you saved from Leper's Smile, right here. You have the elf, or half-elf, that eats the paper in the Tower of Estrad. You run into him a couple times. And the Vrock for the Molten Scar that we also met in the Ivory Sanctum, who we chased away. There's an achievement. You spare all of them, and eventually you find all 3 of them later on. I thought you met him here, in this tavern, but it might be in Act 5 instead. But anyway, I'm going to call it here. Next time I'll speak to my Lara, or me Lara, and see about getting a ride to Calafir. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.